Still can't believe they actually name dropped in Rebellion. That's so stupid. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing a review. Roll credits? Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the high-grade Universal Sentry Gym Type C. And starting off the review, as always, with the articulation. The head's on the old style polycap neck, so ball joint at the top, hinge at the base, can't really look that far up, can look pretty far down, get a little bit of tilt side to side, and a full rotation. If you turn it all the way around, it gets stuck a little bit. The shoulder is on a forward-facing hinge, and yeah, that is as far as it goes, unless you rotate the arm, in which case you can get a little bit further, which is enough to get it across the chest at least. Just under 90 degrees out to the side, which is pretty good considering how this torso is built. Rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbow for a full bend, and the hands, as always, are on a ball joint. For the torso, you get a waist swivel, and that's it. I mean, technically you can pull this up a little bit and get a little tiny bit of a crunch either way, but it's not really intentional. The front skirt can be split, though it comes connected on the runner. It's out of the way perfectly fine. Side skirt can move up and technically rotate, though you don't really get much use out of that. Back skirt's solid. That's pretty standard. The hips are on ball joints, and just ball joints. No extra little joint in there to give a little bit more range. That said, that's a pretty good kick. And, 45 degrees out to the side, that's really all you need. The knee has just over 90 degree bend. The ankle is actually really good. You get not a ton to the back. You do get an insane amount of front movement, and also really good tilt either side. Given the time that the base kit for this was released, this actually has pretty great articulation. Now getting into the accessories, let's start off with the sticker sheet, and by extension, as always, color correction. Not really that bad. It's mostly marking, symbols, Federation, ESFF, numbers, blood splatter, which is for a very specific scene, and the little crotch fee gets a sticker. None of the cameras do, though. You don't get any foil stickers, so hope you like painting. Aside from that, if you don't care about accuracy, it's fine. You don't have to paint anything, but if you do, black in this little spot on the side of the cheek. The front camera is technically separated, but yeah, good luck seeing it. Back camera needs to be painted though. Then crotch V, obviously. Red and black up in the shoulder veneers. Gray on this piece. This little wedge here is actually part of the tan plastic for the beam saber holder. Gray in the center here needs to be painted. The red in these ones. The gray on this part of the wrist. The gray at the top of the hips. And finally, a lot of paint on the bottom of the feet. Basically all the panels need to be painted with gray, and then the thrusters need to be red and black. That said, all this painting is pretty minimal, and if you don't really care about the fine details, this would look absolutely fine without any paint. Now before we get into the accessories proper, I just want to point out really quickly, this thing has a lot of leftover polycaps, so if you're into customization or if you want some spares, you definitely get a lot with this. But getting into the accessories proper, let's start off with the hands, because oh boy, I'm excited. If you've been watching my reviews, you've probably noticed I like it when you have hand options, and this has a lot. You get 2 open splayed hands, a third open, sort of less splayed, more holding hand, and this one has a hinge at the wrist. Then you get 2 closed fists, a right holding hand, and a right dedicated trigger finger hand. Now, you may have noticed that a lot of the hands there didn't have back covers, and well, the thing is, it does include back covers for all of the hands. However, the other ones are on the same runner as the hands, and as such are the wrong color. Thankfully, the ones that come on the tan runner do fit in the hands that these are for, though they are a little bit loose, so just use a little blue tack. Now, as for weapons, let's start off with the one I like the least, the bazooka. You have to paint the camera, but that's not really that big of a deal. It does have a movable handle, though it doesn't move that much. And these Katoki gyms have a bit of a problem with the way that the hands work. The way this peg's on is way too loose. And I added a little bit of blue tack onto the peg to hold the thumb on, and even I find it a little bit loose still. as you can see. It's just kind of a problem with the way these hands are designed, but you get it into a pose, it's not really a big deal. Also, nowhere to store this, so... Then you get the somewhat better weapon, the rifle, which you also have to paint the camera on. At least this one doesn't bump against the shoulder, so it stays on somewhat better. And the trigger guard around the finger kind of holds it in a little bit better. Also, you do get a beam saber on this side, and as you probably noticed earlier, there's no left holding hand, so I'm not really sure how it's supposed to get it out. Not that it matters, because this doesn't actually come with any beam effects, so you can't use it stock anyway. Thankfully, these are compatible with the standard beam saber pieces, and they aren't loose or anything, so if you get another kit, you can have it displayed with it, but it's annoying you have to buy a second kit. That said, this does store nice and securely in the holster, so it's not really a big problem. And finally, you do get a shield, which unfortunately you do have to paint the inside of it gray, and it has a false handle, but the peg does actually attach onto the arm pretty well. It's nice and secure. So, not really a big deal. Also, this kit does actually have a action base adapter. You just pull out this little tab, you shove this in here, and it gives you a little 5mm peg to plug onto an action base. And as for a quick size comparison, the Gym Type C is, well, average height for a gym. Nothing really special about it, it's pretty much normal. So, to wrap this review up, the Gym Type C is probably the best high-grade gym. It has pretty great color separation, the articulation's good, not amazing, but good, has a great amount of hands, and a unique color scheme, which is pretty nice, honestly. I really like these colors. If you're looking for a grunt suit, the only thing this is missing is a beam saber, so pretty great option. Anyway, that's all for this review. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, helps a lot. Subscribe and hit the bell for future reviews. Go follow me on Twitter for updates, and consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep making reviews just like this one. And as always, until next time, happy building.